Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and today we're here in the Saxon Ring in Moto 3 with Sergio Garcia within Helmet Cam. So starting from the back of the grid, we've got a 7-lap sprint race here in this German GP. Now I think it's going to be very difficult because it's been a while since... Oh my goodness, look how close Jason Pasquier was up on the inside there. Wow, that was a great shot of the Brustal GP rider being right there, right next to us for the late, great Jason Dupasquier. But yeah, bit of helmet cam for us today. Thought I'd try something new. It's been a long time since I tackled helmet cam within MotoGP 21, so why not do a video on helmet cam? And I've got to say, I really enjoyed this one. It was absolutely fantastic. Moto 3 I absolutely adore, so helmet cam with these riders, with these bikes, is just absolutely fantastic. We go up the inside of Philip Salac, and now we have Crazy Boy Yumi Sasaki to the right-hand side of us, and of course Adrian Fernandez. And so, in fact, Yumi Sasaki is not on board the Husqvarna yet. He's actually ahead of us on circuit right there. So we now go to the left-hand side. We might get a change of direction, actually, amongst the Japanese riders. We now launch it to the right-hand side for turn 11. Down in the waterfall section, we'll get a good position to then move it into the left-hand side and hopefully get into the rear of the Turkish rider Deniz Oncu. So the left-hand side, we are going to be using power setting 3 for this one because my confidence with the helmet cam is not quite there yet. I need a good couple more laps, probably a couple of races actually, as a matter of fact, just to get used to it once again. But a quick look to my left-hand side there, trying to pick up as much slipstream as possible. We went from Deniz Oncu, Xavi Artigas, we've got Dennis Foggia now to our right-hand side, and of course Tatsuki Suzuki, but braking extremely firm as you see Dennis Foggia getting really close to the right-hand side. Carnage contact! Oh my god! Massive contact. How did we survive that? One of the Brustal GP riders bumped into us. Maybe it was one of the Avintias. I've seen Carlos Tatai right there. I've seen Andrea Mino and Dennis Foggia. That was a very scary moment. We actually fell behind Stefano Nepa and now Philip Salac as well. And Adrian Fernandez picking up a few extra spots, as well as Yumi Sasaki and Deniz Oncu. So that has set us back quite a bit. Not exactly sure what happened there. I think someone went too tight up on the inside, and that caused a bit of carnage on the right-hander for the very first corner here in the German GP. But now to the left-hand side for turn 8, we'll move on through on Adrian Fernandez and now Yumi Sasaki at the same point we did on the previous lap. But now here on the second lap, bringing in nice and tight to the apex of the left-hander there for turn 10, chucking it to the right-hand side of the tyre of these medium tyres, down the waterfall section, and we're going to try and get Deniz Oncu once again. So we have to do the business once more, but it's still pretty entertaining race and a pretty competitive one at that, and rather combative, let's say, as well. But now braking around the outside, and I actually thought I was going to go for it there, but I'm glad I didn't. Not against Deniz Oncu. Much better on the brakes than I was in helmet cam. Quick look to the right hand side for a better look at the Turkish rider Nicolo Antonelli, fastest man on circuit right now, with Darren Binder leading the way from Pedro Acosta. In fact, that has just changed as I read that out. So now to the right hand side. That looks like Andrea Mino, so maybe we bumped into Alberto Sura. Or in fact, no, it would have been Philip Salac, because Sura's not on that motorcycle yet. That is for 2022, of course. John McPhee to the left-hand side, going to try and bravely slot it up on the inside of the Scottish rider, and potentially up on the inside of Xavi Artigas. And I tell you what, that stuck rather nicely. So a top job on board the gas for Sergio Garcia so far here in the German GP. So bringing on the power once more, bringing it to the left-hand side for turn 7. I do feel we can get really tight to the apex here and pick up a lot of speed without bumping Kaiserto, which unfortunately we just did a moment ago. To the left-hand side once more, Andrea Mino is there on the right. I can't quite see where he is, but we're going to try and make a lunge on Romano Fenati either now or later. I've actually gone for it already. Sergio Garcia threw up to 7th position. Romano Fenati dumped down to 8th place. 1.4 seconds quicker we are on this particular lap compared to the previous one, as we now go behind the two Indonesian racers, Gabriel Rodrigo and Jeremy Alcobra. I can't remember the name of that team. It's Indonesian Gracini Racing or something like that. I can't remember what it is exactly right now. But to the left-hand side for the Queckenberg for the final corner here on lap 3. We'll now bring on the power with a stunning amount of speed there for Sergio Garcia. Across the line, fastest man on track, a 1:28.302 for the young Spanish rider. So now slamming the brakes on for the first corner. Oh, Gabriel Rodrigo much better on the brakes than we were for this particular instance. So we now need to do the job again once more. So the left-hand side for turn 2. I do rather like this change of direction into the third corner for Amiga. Ooh, a bit of a messy corner that was actually. Touching the rumble strip really lost us time, and now Jeremy Alcoba, fabulous Jeremy Alcoba, we'll actually be able to see in the back of his leathers in a moment. You can see fabulous Jeremy Alcoba. At this point I've realised I'm also doing the lean at the same spot that Sergio Garcia is, and I'm only commentating, so can you imagine what it'd be like to do this as well? I think when I was racing this and I was actually recording this, I did the same thing. I was leaning into every single corner as I do on most of my videos. You'll see in the live streams when I do that. But now, we now need to get past the two Indonesian racing riders, and we do make it stick on Jeremy Alcoba, but that was bloody close to the wall there for the left-hand side for turn 10. But now into the waterfall section for the fourth time of asking, try and get possibly Rodrigo on the brakes here. It's not the easiest of moves. I do tend to find that I don't get it right into the Saxon curve compared to some of the other riders and some of the other players, but for now, stunning amount of speed and acceleration. Chucking it to the left-hand side for the Queckenberg. Hopefully Rodrigo doesn't try anything too audacious, and he doesn't. So we now have a chance of a bit of clear track. This is the first time in this video today we are seeing clear space. So let's see what lap times we can produce now. And while you're watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this content so far, because I have a lot more content just like this to come, as we made a bit of a mistake there on the right-hander into turn 1, just touching the rumble strip and then exceeding track limits ever so slightly. Thankfully we didn't get a track limit warning, but I am surprised that we didn't, to be quite honest with you. But now to the right hand side once again, he seemed being twitchy on the acceleration. Couldn't quite plant the acceleration on how much I wanted it. I wanted to really bring on the power quite gradually, but I just couldn't feel it. The medium tyres probably overheating a little bit, but we'll see how we progress for the next couple of laps. So with a couple more laps remaining, we are closing in on Jaume Masia, the Spanish rider, up into 4th position. The Red Bull KTM, of course. And then, of course, after that, Pedro Acosta, Nicolo Antonelli, Darren Binder, all in a bit of a scrap up in the 1st position, which is good for us. We need them to engage. We need them to scrap. We need them to fight, so then we can pick up some more speed and hopefully get closer and closer to the riders ahead. So slamming the anchors onto the left-hander for the Saxon curve. Front brake being applied quite a lot and a rear brake. I see a front tyre to the left-hand side. Someone's Dunlop is getting in the front of it, and I think it was Jaume Masia, of course. Yeah, it would have been Jaume Masia, of course, because Jaume Masia was the only rider that was close enough on that particular lap. But here we go then, the start of the penultimate lap. We had another brilliant lap there, not quite the best lap of the race, but it's still very, very solid. So let's see what we can produce now. 1.2 seconds is the gap to the race leader and current Moto3 World Champion, Pedro Acosta. We now flick it to the left-hand side for the very first time on this particular lap here in the penultimate lap of this Saxon Ring GP, as we now position the motorcycle to the right-hand side for a meagre 1.2 is the gap. Remember that, because I don't think it'll be 1.2 as we get towards the end of this race. I do believe by this 3rd split we're already going to be right on the heels of Nicolo Antonelli on board the Avintia racing bike. So bringing it to the left-hand side once more. Of course, 9 left-handers here in the circuits of the Saxon Ring, the German GP, as mentioned many times in this video already. So we need to make sure we're going to be strong on these left-hand sides. I know the left-hand side of the tyre is going to be looking a bit bleak by now, but we're still looking very promising. To the left-hand side once more for turn 9. To the left-hand side for turn 10. A little bit too tight to the apex ace. He had to pick it up ever so slightly as we now launch it down the waterfall section. Too wide, and we'll get on the green as we do a little bit. Quick beat behind me just to make sure Masia is not in range as we now get onto the left-hand side for the 12th corner here in the Saxon Ring. Goodness me, it's down to this. The gap is down to 0.7 of a second to Acosta, but it's now down to 0.4 to Nicolo Antonelli, and that's all we need. Just a little moment there in the acceleration. You see the tyres are beginning to give way somewhat, but across the line, it's a 0.9 of a second gap to Acosta, 0.6 of a second to Nicolo Antonelli. So we need to be really brave on the brakes here, ladies and gentlemen. Really strong, really powerful. Chucking it right onto the right boot there to make sure the rear brake was being fully applied. And now to the left-hand side we will go. 6.5 of a second to Acosta, 0.4 of a second to Antonelli. The Italian, the South African, the Spaniard, and of course another Spaniard here in 4th place. This is going to kick off. It really, really is. To the left-hand side now, turn 5. Continue to hold it now on the left-hand side of the tyre until we get to the turn 11, or excuse me, turn 11 or turn 10 for the waterfall section. But to the left-hand side, here we go then. Round the outside of Antonelli, is it possible? Side by side, here they go into the left-hander. We do get it stuck. Excellently done for Sergio Garcia on board the gas around the outside of the South African Darren Binder. And now, Darren Binder will not yield. Binder will not yield. You know Darren Binder, he's definitely not going to yield at any point. But we do get the cutback going into the 11th corner for the waterfall section. Try and pick up a little bit of slipstream and outbrake Acosta. Acosta's going to be lethal on the brakes here into the penultimate corner for the Saxon curve. To the left-hand side, Darren Binder's tucked the front. Oh, he's tucked it. He's crashed. Oh, no. Binder's gone down. That is it. It's scupping our chances. We're going to have a miracle here to the left-hand side, bringing on the power with serious amount of speed, but unfortunately, it is not going to be enough. Darren Binder losing the front there has just cost us a chance of victory here today. So guys, how about that one then? I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Helmet cam is awesome in MotoGP 21. Can't wait to see what it's like in MotoGP 22. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.